Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss hackerrank data structure problem about dynamic arrays. In this problem we will talk about dynamic arrays. So if you have ever done C or C++ before, you know that there was a concept of arrays and we initialize an array like this. Here A is the array with size 5, which means we can only add 5 elements to this array. So this array is not dynamic. In this problem we will have to use the concept of dynamic array, which means we can change the size or at runtime. I am going to use Python, and in Python language we have lists which act as dynamic array. So I am going to use lists concept to solve this problem. Let's see the problem now. So here is the problem. Create a sequence list of n empty sequences where each sequence is indexed from 0 to n-1 and the elements within each of the n sequences also use 0 indexing. The sequence here means a list, and we here have to create a list inside a list. Something like this: sequence list is equals to a list, and inside them we have n lists, and their indices start from 0, which by default in Python starts from 0. Create an integer last answer and initialize it to 0. Then there are two types of queries that can be performed on the list of sequences. Query 1 xy. Okay, if we have given the first query, then we have to do these steps. If the query is the second query, then we have to do these steps. So these queries are given in the input format, like here. The first two number is that n is 2, and the 5 here is that we are given here 5 queries, and this is the first query 105. Here the 1 represent the query type, the 0 represent the x value, and 5 represents y value. So these things are given in the query set. So which means we have to apply first query on these values. Then we do these steps, and if there is 2 inside this one, we do second steps. Okay, so these given queries are basically stored in a 2D array, which is already given here. This is queries array. All these queries are stored in this array. So let's see the program now. So this is the code for the problem. Here we will complete this function dynamic array, which takes 2 arguments, n and queries. Queries here is a 2D array like this, which contain information about query type, x and y. This line here creates sequence list of n sequences. In this case n is equals to 2, so it will create a list like this. then initialize last answer equals to 0. Next, we have to go through all the queries one by one. So we iterate over it. When we first iterate over it, I has value this, which is a list, and at I0 we have value of query type. At I1 index we have value of X. At I index 2 we have value of Y. Then we check the query type and we'll see which steps from these we have to apply on it. So if I0 is equals to 1, which means if query type is 1, we have sequence is equals to sequence list at index this, means I1, and then XOR of last answer. Let's say if this list is S0 and this is S1, it will give us one list from any one list from this, and then we append the Y to this list. Else we find the sequence at index this in the sequence list, then update the last answer to this Y modulo size of sequence. This size is the size of the present sequence, so in Python we use length for the size, and then print the last answer. Okay, this operator here represents the XOR operator, and XOR returns true if any one of the input is true. Otherwise it returns false. So this is the code. Now we will see if it passes the test cases or not. So let's submit this, and here you can see it passes all the test cases successfully. If this video is useful for you, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel for more updates.